And we are live. That so I can see. All right. Give me 1 second to check lay audio here. See? All right. Give me 1 second to check lay audio here. See? I literally just heard myself saying that, so it all turned out great. Okay, cool. We are all set to go.
All right, guys. We're going to start episode 8 of the Dead Sea God, or session 8, or whatever you want to word it as. When we left off, Farida and Benny were planning to beat the ever-living crap out of somebody who stole a little bit of money from them. Shava was out communing with nature and her new pet. And then Koki and Ray were holed up at the hotel researching the piece of cloth left behind as the namesake for Halfling Steely Pants. As the as the group came in, they boarded onto the dock and got off the dock and were approached and told they needed to pay a fee in order to board their dock there, which is par for the course. So they paid their fee and went up to the gate for the dock, and the gatekeeper was like, sounds fake, brah. And unfortunately, it was. So the party has been looking for why, how, and when, and has found a handful of information, including he supposedly had somebody helping him, or someone's helping him. He had a boat full of spices, which is now gone. So possibly him as well. And he has a very provocative sense of humor as he stabbed a piece of cloth with a smiley face with its tongue hanging out into... I don't have words today.
The
bucket. The bucket is the name of the boat. There we go.
It's okay.
There we go. It's like just full on brain freeze there. Into the bucket. So for Day, who was missing last week, your character decided to pull out their alchemist set and try to figure out possibly what type of turmeric and other chemicals were used in order to make the paint that was put on the sign. So hopefully you guys can track down the person who stole 2 silver from you.
Wasn't it like 11 silver?
No. Was it 11 silver?
I feel like it was, but hey, maybe I'm misremembering. Either way, though, it's not about the amount of money, it's about the principle of the thing. Okay? I tried.
You gave him like 11 silver because you were trying to hold for the whole week?
That's what it was. You paid him for the week, not for one day.
Yes. Yes, I did.
No, you scammed yourself.
I did. You know what? Why is
he
it
was only
my
asking
fault?
for 2 silver, and you handed this man like he was like, "Hey, can I have a $5?" And you were like, "Here's 100."
I needed to board our bucket. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But your fee was paid by a very nice member from the Corps, a branch off of one of the temples of Midas that believes in the resurrection of the Dead Sea God.
He was
Roll
also
credits.
a blue-ringed octopus.
He was also a blue ring octopus man and liked compliments a lot. There's also insinuation that there will be a boat auction going on soon. Not an auction of boats, but a auction on a boat. A handful of other things going on in the city, and you all still have not been paid for the last mission that you went on. So, Benny, since your partner in crime is not here, would you like to wrap up what you guys did the night before?
I mean, I feel like Katie and I would have truly gone until there were no more leads left to chase, like full Batman. So I feel like the only way to resolve it is to just completely skip over it.
All right, why don't we try this summary? The guard that you were going to question
Yeah.
looks at you like you're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just a guard, and I'm not a guard of the docks. And you're telling me the boat has already left and that it was from somebody of nefarious purposes. So even if they would have told the dockmaster where they were going next, which they don't have to, why would they be honest about it?
I know, but also it was worth it. It's worth it to try. I
I
need
like
to know
how-
this man's name so I can like write it down and recite it to myself every night before bed while I'm eating my candies. So
Well,
I
that's
can.
the greatest thing. You guys, once again, did not ask him his name.
No, I have to
I-
feed my hatred.
I do like the fact that even though I'm pretty sure Gina had her mic muted, I could hear her laughing from across the room through yours.
Oh, that wasn't a laugh. That was a cackle. I was cackling.
All right. With that, you and Ferida, now tired because you just got back into town after going and rescuing your friend, and all of this shit has gone down, realize that realistically, what Koki and Ray are doing to try to figure out information about the little tag that was left behind is your most realistic last shred of hope for finding this man without a fuck ton of luck or high level magic.
We were blinded by the lust for vengeance. It happens.
Which, fair. Who knows? Maybe you would have ran into him in the streets, but you didn't, and it's late and you're tired.
Wasn't
And now
Ray also making a new flag for our boat, our bucket?
I believe so. Ray?
I was, but then I saw something very curious in this inn that I'm going to need to address.
Ah, yes. First, an important question. Do I need to post the information about exhaustion levels for Benny, or is that not a thing that's happening?
I know about exhaustion levels, but if the trail has well and truly run dry, I personally feel like we'll let it go.
Okay. So
Very
as long
good.
as nobody wakes up Benny and you guys don't wake up at the butt crack of dawn, you can have your 48 hours of 4 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep.
Don't wake up Benny, huh?
Yeah, Benny might want to consider putting a sign or something on his door to prevent a very excited Ray coming in the morning to show him all of the things.
A little do
What
not disturb
door?
on
He
the
was
boat.
sleeping on a boat.
I'm on the boat, baby.
Oh, that's right.
I'm on the
That
and
sign
and
won't
I'm
stop me 'cause
afraid
I can't read.
and I'm afraid the various people on the dock are not going to be as considerate, and they definitely get up around the ass crack of dawn. But again,
You know
I'm
how
just
many
saying.
siblings I grew up with? A lot. It's okay.
All right. So, Koki realizes pretty quickly with her breaking down of the turmeric that is pretty fucking basic. So it's a very common kind of turmeric. It's grown on several isles here. It is not exactly a rare ingredient. Let me open up her character sheet real quick. Day, I'm gonna have you roll a check for figuring out if you learned about any of the other ingredients easily.
Is it gonna matter?
I could not hear you. I'm sorry.
Is it gonna matter that the game is paused?
I don't know, but I'll unpause it.
Okay.
And then we'll add your proficiency bonus to it because you are using your tools that you're proficient in.
Okay, so what do you want me to roll?
I would like you to roll intelligence, please.
Intelligence. Ability check, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
Can't remember, Lindsay. Does it with
It's
the
okay,
ability
we're getting him out of the way now.
check? Did they get another proficiency bonus for the tools? Is that how that rule works?
I was just trying to remember where I put that list that I made for. Aha! Yes, I've located it. One moment.
Yeah, don't you have
Specifically, if
proficiency?
this would be considered an Arcana roll, the way this works is that if you are making a relevant skill roll or skill check that utilizes the tools, then you roll with advantage to make up for the the fact that you basically have 2 proficiencies in it. Excuse me. So if she was rolling Arcana, then she could have rolled with advantage because she's using her alchemist supplies.
Okay. Why does it have to be Arcana? I
Because
thought it
that
was
is
whatever we could qualify for it.
well, because it has to be a skill she is proficient with and using the alchemy supplies.
Ah, gotcha.
So
Okay,
in this
that's what
case,
it was. I was missing that permission.
yeah. So in this case, at least the ones that they suggest in the book for relevant checks to pair with the alchemist supplies are Arcana and Investigation. But Koki is not proficient in Investigation, last I checked. Unless I am wrong. But is proficient in
Could not be
Arcana.
me. I am
So-
proficient in investigation.
That roll day would have been actually 11. Can you give me a... If you hover over that 9, do me a
Mhm.
favor and hit the plus sign.
In like the chat?
Yeah, like in the chat inside of Foundry. Beautiful. All right, so that is actually a 16, which is a pretty good roll.
Woohoo!
Along with the
Are you-
teamwork, you just find a basic paste, probably an animal glue byproduct, some sort of breakdown like that, and an oil base. And unfortunately, nothing fancy.
Carissa, it was that number's already adding the proficiency, so it is just 14.
No, because she's rolling straight intelligence, and her Arcana is a +4, not a +2.
Oh, the 2 is the end. Okay, sorry. Carry on. I was reading it wrong. My
You're fine.
bad.
I had her roll the wrong attribute.
Oh.
So the one thing that you do notice about it that is a little bit weird is the fact that the paste seems to be bovine. Bovine paste on the Isles is not super common because there's not a lot of islands big enough to have cattle. But other than that, and unfortunately, that keeps pretty well and can be found in a lot of places, even if it is not a common thing to find. There isn't really anything unique about the ingredients in and of themselves.
Well, boo.
Thank you for trying, though. I
You're
appreciate your
welcome.
investigation.
I was prepared to like lick it to death, but
That's probably exactly what you're doing. You're like, little sample.
Tastes like food. It does taste surprisingly like food.
I mean, bovine oil, turmeric.
Yeah, it's a little
seems
seasoned
pretty
beef
good to
there.
me.
Even smells like dinner. So yeah, unfortunately, there's not much off of that. Let's see. Ray, in the middle of the night, how much time did you spend working on the new flag, looking at the cloth of the old flag, and sleeping?
I probably spent a good couple hours on making the new flag, and then probably about an hour looking at the old one, and then the rest is a fitful sleep.
You do have first tools, which I feel like would help you identify cloth. Lindsay, what do you think?
Sorry, had muting things. What tools did you say? Because you cut out there for a second. I'm sorry.
Weavers.
And this was to look at what was
The cloth.
Yes, That would definitely help. An investigation using a weaver's tools, assuming of which Ray is proficient, would result in rolling with advantage. And what you calls it? Basically, rolling investigation with advantage would be the case.
Okay, we agree. So go ahead and roll investigation with advantage.
I also think it's super cute that the two cats of the group, are just staring at this cloth like,
All
Our
right,
tails are just
17.
wagging behind us.
Also pretty good. The cloth is, in fact, halfling cloth. So halfling cloth tends to be a little bit more coarser and made out of sheep stuff because it is a little bit more. Wool is a little bit more durable without being terribly unbreathable, but also insulating. It probably came off of a jacket or a vest or something that was used over a person to keep them a little bit more warm. Wool isn't super common as a cloth type made for clothing to be like flexible enough for that sort of stuff instead of like say a blanket or something like that here. And there's actually only a handful of places that are super duper 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 into wool, and your connection to your background would actually tell you what a handful of those are if you talk to anybody who sold wool back at home.
I don't quite understand what is being asked of me.
Nothing. That's just what you learned from it.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you know that it's wool. You probably could figure out it's like one of 3 places. It's not from your hometown, so you know it's not from that area. You do feel like you've seen it before, but it's not super knowledgeable on it. It probably came from one of the larger isles to the south of the isles, farther away from like the northeast corner. Closer to the northeast corner. So probably if you guys go to the world map, if you want to know, it's probably somewhere in quadrant F.
Where's the world map again?
It is probably not visible to you now that I'm looking at it. Here we go.
Cool.
So it is probably down here somewhere on one of these bigger isles.
Kelsey's Discord is frozen right now. Oh no, the whole computer is frozen.
Oh
Okay,
Oh, well,
never
wait.
mind. We good.
Okay.
Anyway, so what you're saying is Ray's the one who could look at a map, point a little toe bean onto some islands, and point me in the direction of my quest for vengeance.
Ray could point at a fifth of Spain and say, maybe this area.
Maybe around here.
And that's where the sheep came from, not anything else.
It's a lead, damn it.
Yeah, but you know what? In the grand scheme of things, being able to choose that it's Spain is pretty impressive.
I will concede that is pretty impressive. It's okay. I'll take my goddamn nap on the boat. I'm not letting it go, but I'm letting it go for now.
You do realize with those 2 pieces of information, and knowing, I'll wait till you all get together. But Ray would know that dying isn't something that is done on boats regularly. It's a bit
I
of
thought
a
people died on boats all the time.
Don't pun with me. Isn't something that is processed on boats very often. So likely it was made somewhere. It is not really in anybody's area of expertise for dyeing factories, for wool and all of that sort of stuff. However, you do have connections with the Merchant Guild.
That I do.
So, once you guys all talk about it, it might be a good way to narrow down someone who has access, or at the very least would make and sell that type of cloth. But once again, this is assuming he didn't just steal it from someone. But you could at least find
I'm-
out where that cloth is made if you wanted.
I'm taking the scraps of information that I can get. I'm taking what I can get. Also, would here's my question. Would we be able to like ask those sorts of things when we go get paid in the morning?
Yeah, Drawn hasn't really told you what he is connected to and how much, but he could probably point you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
That being said, that is what you guys all learned last night. Christelle, did you have any questions about your bird or anything that happened last night?
I actually wanted to know if I found any interesting plants while I was out there.
Let's see. You would have had time to look. Go ahead and roll me.
May I make
You
a
have an
note?
herbalism.
She has an herbalism kit and is proficient with nature, which specifically the book recommends rolling with advantage for locating plants, especially medically related ones.
Yes. So, go ahead and roll your nature
what do
check
I
with
need to do?
advantage.
So how do I do that?
So, open up your character sheet.
Yep.
Under your skills, go to nature.
Mhm.
Oop, ignore that.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll that first one, and you can either click it twice or you can hover over your first roll and hit the plus sign. That is a very good roll.
How do I hit the plus? Wait, sorry.
That is a
Hover
very
over
good
the
roll.
21 in the chat,
Okay.
and there
then-
should be a
okay.
plus sign to the right. Yep.
Cool.
Beautiful. So a 21 is a very good roll. You actually
Snaps.
find some solid herbs that you could probably use to help make some salves and stuff. Lindsay and I will determine what those will be here shortly. Figuring out what's native to the area and stuff because I don't have an herbalism open in front of me.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much.
No problem. But we'll start up a list because you've mentioned you're interested in that before of like plants and ingredients and stuff you can find out in nature. That way it'll be easier for all of us to keep track of.
Okay, dokie.
Ba-dum-bum-bum. All right. Anybody else have any other questions before we move to the morning?
I do not have any more questions that I can think of that I can reasonably get answered at this time. We've exhausted every lead we have.
All right. And with that, morning rolls around and everybody is up, out, and getting up and about. Did you guys talk about how you were going to meet back up?
I think we didn't we kind of just decide that we were going to go meet up to get paid, if I remember right? Yeah, Gina also seems to recall that, so maybe we're just all meeting up with our homeboy, get our cash money.
I agree.
So you guys would know that Drawn's place opens up pretty early. I'm going to say you slept in just a teeny tiny bit there, Benny, considering you were up late at night. So if you all are comfortable with it, I would say you all get up, get ready, maybe grab some food, and head to the guild merchant's place where you first got your job.
Me and frickin' oh my gosh, why can I not remember? Kate Faraday are looking a little haggard probably. But you know what, we're playing it off like it's cool. We're gonna look really cool while we stumble in. So
All right. Would Ray and Koki be able to hold in the information that they've learned since it didn't really tell them much of anything, or would they immediately want to let them know before you all talk to Dran?
Well, I'm not gonna say anything, even though I'm just staring at Benny. You know that way that cats look at people sometimes?
The big blown up and pupils and
Yeah.
the 2 forward ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking a little intent there.
You need to understand I'm also staring at Kelsey in real life. I'm not gonna ask yet.
You can ask whatever. I'm telling you, above game, you can ask whatever you want. But he is truly slightly baffled. He's like, what? What are you? What?
Can wait until we're paid.
I don't like that answer, but okay, let's get paid. I do like getting paid.
All right. And then, unless anybody has anything else to say, y'all move into the building after seeing a rather haggard Benny, a rather non-impressed with themselves Faraday, a overly excited, I'm assuming Koki Day. Would Koki be excited about science? Goodbye, Day.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. The mute button would not undo. I was like, I can't aim. For some reason the space bar is not working. But hells yeah, science. Like I may just start running around in circles around the whole group.
You know what? If
So-
Ray won't tell me anything, I'll listen to what Koki has to say.
The cats are insane. They have the zoomies. Ray's doing the thing where like he's got a zoom and then he stops and he just stares.
Maybe there was something a little extra in that turmeric. We just don't know.
Wait, now I need to look up the effect of turmeric on cats. Hold on.
They got it had a hint of the nip in it.
It was the secret ingredient you guys didn't roll high enough to find. It was catnip the
It
entire
was
time.
a DC-30 check. If you'd known, you'd hit it. You'd know there was catnip in it.
Little
So
did you know you were drugged from the
actually-
get-go, stealing McSteely pants again.
no, so actually, turmeric for cats helps support cats that may be fighting cancer and also provides arthritis support and also helps with digestion, skin issues, and is great for cardiovascular health. So we
Congratulations.
we took a hit of like super greens at the smoothie shop.
So you're both in great health.
So you've got Shava, who, if I remember correctly, couldn't have given a shit less about this entire situation from the get-go. Two very excited characters and two very tired characters. It's going to be a great day.
We're doing great.
Fantastic.
I'm pretty pleased though because I just found a bunch of herbs
True.
that
True.
will be helpful.
I
And I
love-
would like to get paid so I can go find a little bird sack so I can carry my sleeping microgriffin.
Oh my
Oh my
god, you're gonna have a
God.
little like a kitty cat backpack for him?
Yes, yes, I am.
That's so good.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
We have to go get paid right now.
That's it. The revenge plot is off the table. We now have to have cat backpacks. New
I mean-
priorities.
Cat backpack is the most important, but it'll also resolve pretty fast. Revenge plot's a slow burn.
God, wait, Benny, can we get one for me that's big enough for you to wear?
No.
As a side note, I did play a character that sat in the backpack on another character recently, and it was a lot of fun. 10 out of
Were you
10
like-
would recommend.
Were you like the demon on the shoulder?
No, I was the sentient plant in a pot to a bumbling rogue, and it was a blast.
You just Seymour Krellburn? What the fuck? Krellburn.
You cut off, I'm sorry.
Are you Seymour Krellborn in this game? Like, is that what's happening? A talking
No.
plant?
Anyways, well after game. Let's not get segued into games that aren't this game.
Yes.
So she's one of my favorite characters right now, and I'll talk way too long about it. Anyways, so you all go in. Dron's front area receptionist is pretty quick, points you back to the back room where he is working. As you walk in the room, I would like you all to give me a perception check, please.
I will give you perception because I am mad proficient in it. Watch me roll a fucking 1.
Hey.
Hey, let's fucking go.
Nice. Oh,
God
damn.
damn, guys.
All the
Seeing
nice.
so much shit right now.
Everyone is seeing the shit. Wait, we're missing one.
Nothing
Mhm.
evades our gaze. We see
Hold
all.
on, I'm still looking. Uh,
There it is.
There we go.
Damn,
Hey!
guys.
We see
Jeez.
so much.
Y'all are having
We
the
see
good
lots
juicy
of
this morning.
zoomies, you guys, I'm
Well-
seeing 3 times as many things with my zoomies.
Same.
So many zoomies. All right. So with the
We're zooming.
power of confidence that comes from finding cool shit, irritation that comes from not finding anything, and the zoomies of mad power, all 5 of you realize on the board behind Dran's desk, which he is currently sitting at, working away, you all realize this so quickly, he's still actually looking up at you, is a very familiar symbol. It is this symbol. Which is the symbol you guys found, the people you killed and took the boat from.
Oh no.
We killed people to get the bucket.
Yeah, you killed someone.
Oh my god, I did.
Yeah, you did.
To
Oh,
be fair,
no. Were they rogue
th-
agents?
That's a great question. So that's behind Dran on the wall, connected to this like collage of a ton of pictures and notes and other things that the first time you guys were in here, you just assumed were open cases. But as you're looking with your wonderful perception check, you're realizing that there's several repeated words and names on it, and it might actually be the majority of it one thing.
Is it a grand conspiracy? Did we do a good thing? did we do a good thing and discover?
That is it's a great question.
I'm
On
not
that-
going to ask him.
Well, on that note, I believe it is you have entered his office. Rather,
You sure have.
so an important
So
question.
while Lindsay takes over, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
Oh
Fair.
my
Let's try.
god.
So an
Oh,
important question.
no.
Did y'all knock, or did you just like open the door?
I would have knocked. I don't know who's like leading the pack though. I guess I'm the tallest, so probably me. So yeah, I would have knocked.
All right, fair. All right, then yes, you
Was
would
it
have.
the tallest, the leader? Is this like Invader Zim?
Hey man, I can take hits like in body block because I'm the tallest. Not that I
I-
anticipate that we're gonna get killed walking into the office, but still, I don't know. If you want to go first, be my fucking
Well,
guest.
apparently,
Fine.
as it turns out, we may have killed this man's associate. So yeah, we might get attacked.
Hey,
Okay.
they're dead. I can't report to him.
Dead
there's a-
bodies are just there, and we suddenly have their shit little bucket boat.
Their dead bodies are going to be consumed by the desert.
Okay. So, you would have knocked, and he would have said something along the lines of "come in." You then opened the door, and that is that. I just wanted to, and then you saw what you saw. So he's going to look up from his desk, all of you, and be like, yes. I was hoping I might see you today, considering I just got a notification from the Desert Gate Guard that you were officially declared missing starting last evening. So,
We were declared missing.
did you not all give your names to the gentleman at the gate before you entered the desert and gave him an approximate time frame of 6 days before you would return? As he's holding up a piece of paper. Oh, on that note, he's quickly turning to gives a quick look to Faraday and looks down at the paper. It's like, my apologies, as he gestures, as apparently you prefer to go by Greg. And he places the paper back down. Anyway, that's one more piece of paperwork I don't have to fill out today, so I thank you. On that note, I assume you have a report for me.
We do.
Please shut the door and feel free to have a seat, and you can inform me of what happens. I'll need some information, and of course, any documentation you might have discovered about what has occurred.
I continue to stand.
I'm also going to keep standing.
I will also be standing.
Koki's gonna be like, I'll sit.
Right.
Cookie bombs work just as well sitting or standing. I'm fine.
And I assume you guys did
Oh.
shut the door per his request, or are you guys leaving it?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll shut the door.
All right. All right. And he gets out a file, some paper down there, gets a quill ready. If you want, you can fill out this paperwork yourselves. Otherwise, you can dictate to me and I can get an approximate summation of matters.
Do we dictate or do we write?
Let's dictate.
Oh no. Oh no. I can't believe we might have killed the wrong. We can't have killed the wrong people. We can't have done that. That's silly. This is like a Pepe Sylvia conspiracy board, and we helped actually. That's what I'm choosing to take from
Are you
this.
saying this out loud?
No, Jesus Christ, no.
Wait,
Oh, good Lord,
okay,
no.
I have an important
Who
question.
the
You
fuck
said,
is Pepe Sylvia?
yeah, I was gonna say, is that the board meme guy?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's Charlie Day playing a character named Charlie Kelly from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but it's like a Pepe Sylvia conspiracy board that he has running. So yes, TLDR. Yes.
Fair enough.
Anyway, no, Benny did not say any of that out loud.
If
Vinny is
you
just
guys,
standing there looking mildly constipated.
if you guys spend like too long sort of mulling it over, he just sort of encourages while he's still holding the pen. It's like, most people prefer the dictation method. It tends to go quicker, as I know what details are relevant to put on the paper.
We have to rock, paper, scissors it to figure out who's gonna give the info.
I
Do we?
mean, we found them and we rescued them, and then we came back.
Is Shava actually saying this out loud?
That is what I said.
You know what? Shava's right. That's exactly what happened.
So he's going to. So just repeat what you said one more time for me as the DM, just so that I can hear it correctly.
We found them, we rescued them, and then we came back.
All right. So Drawn is sort of doing like the long blink thing, staring at the paper before turning to you. It's like, I am afraid I'm going to need a bit more details as far as who they are in this equation. Did you find the merchants? You rescued the merchants. I assumed they would be with you.
We found the microgriffins. We found no merchants.
And now he's just going to, and of course he was staring at you before, and he's looking at you again and just blinks and it's like,
We found
you found
the
what?
microgriffins. We found the
my
microgriffins in a hole in
God.
the
What?
desert.
We in fact did not do what he hired us to do.
Shit.
What exactly is a microgriffin?
We
And-
have one right on hand.
Do you actually point to the furry mound? Also,
I don't.
okay. So here's a
Ugliest microgriffin in existence.
He's great. Be nice.
So here's a question: where does Shava currently have Porlo situated? Is he in the carrier that you have for him? Is he like sleeping upon your shoulders?
He's on my shoulder. His head is resting against my head with his beak pointed up into the air.
Oh, he's so cute.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify. So again,
he's blending in with my ears.
He probably okay. So in that case, then Dran probably would not have noticed it immediately. And so once again, it's like, I'm sorry, what on earth are microgriffins, and what do they have to do with the cargo of perishable goods you were sent to investigate, and the merchants carrying them?
Oh no.
I come to the conclusion we may have rescued the wrong thing. So what I say is, well, maybe you should have told us what the goods were
The
before
goods,
we went out, like what we asked you. The
The goods-
perishable goods.
the goods
we
were
asked
only
you.
listed as perishable goods. I told you, I had no record of what they were other than perishable goods. And considering the island it
figured
came from,
They were
I
these.
Yeah, I'm gonna back Shava up. I'm going to cut in and say, from the best of our investigation, these were the perishable goods.
He's going to he takes in a breath as though he's going to say something. He then looks for a moment, puts down his quill, flips back, pulls up the file he had before, and flips back through a couple of pages. And he makes the sound. He makes that sort of sound, and he now looks at you with a very different face on. It's like, so to confirm, these microgriffins, as he goes to sit the paperwork back down, they aren't livestock by chance?
They're bred specifically as pets. Oh my god, the dog is groaning in the background. But yeah, they're bred specifically to be pets.
I see. Well then, I am not surprised. As he gets that smile on his face, that's like, I'm about to kill a bitch. All right.
It better not be us. It better be someone else.
Nope. Okay. Give me a moment as I notate some things here.
While you do that, can I roll an investigation check on the board to see if, like, what kind of vibe I get to see if, like, we did a bad?
You absolutely can roll an investigation on this board.
Okay. Please roll good. Fuck my ass.
Carissa, you have been describing this board. What information does an 8 present Benny with?
I'm sad.
There's that symbol there.
I see it. There it is.
It's in fact still on the board, along with a couple other things beneath it.
Yeah.
There's some papers that are talking about like an event in town. Unfortunately, it's a lot of information.
Yeah, and I'm a little flustered at this
Yeah.
time. I didn't get a lot of sleep.
I would say maybe after a few minutes make another roll. And we'll
All right.
parse through that.
Yeah, you let me know when I can make another roll,
Yeah.
because I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Lindsay, would you say that like any valuable information comes out of that, or is it just a scattershot of random words and stuff?
It's a fucking 8, babe. You can give me nothing. You can give me crickets. It's fine.
I was gonna say you kind of you got. I don't feel like you wouldn't get more than what you got with that glorious perception check. Is the prop? I feel like you already got met the threshold for what an 8 would give you, just with that perception check. Is what I'm feeling personally. But so Drawn has written some things down, and he's like, all right, so to surmise, you crossed, it would seem, through the desert. Did you first, I take it you arrived at Bosi, or did you discover them on your route?
We arrived at Bosi and gathered information first.
All right. I assume you spoke to this. I I had it written down and I forgot what the heck his name was because I have had too many names in my brain right now. Varus. Yes. And it's like, and I take it you spoke with this Varus Sorafath.
Yes.
All right. And what is his relationship to this endeavor?
I can't remember which one he is. Is he the halfling mayor or is he the man with the microgriffins, the microgriffin man?
It was a gnomish mayor, and it was
Yes.
the gentleman who bred the birds.
Okay, so which one was he though? Because those are two
Va-
different people, were they not?
Varus was the bird man.
Varus was the Birdman. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So hey.
You said a halfling mayor. He was a gnome.
I have a halfling on the brain. I got so little sleep.
All
Lay
short
off
people
me.
are halflings now.
Penny's so tall they may as well be. No. Anyway, the point being, he would elaborate that he was the man who indicated that the microgriffins were what was
Alright.
being taken back and forth.
Okay. And I don't see anything here. Okay, so that's probably all right. And you investigated, I take it, and where did your investigation lead? How did you relocate these micro griffins?
We met a friend who could fly, and he saw an indentation in the earth. And when we went in there, the microgriffins were in there, in cages, and we loaded them up on the boat, and we took them, and finished the mission.
To the best of our understanding, they were going to be. We gathered that they were gonna like try to hawk them, right? Like, I'm asking, like, that was the conclusion we all came to, wasn't it?
Yes, the conclusion was that the smugglers seem to have been informed and hired to yoink these birds.
Yeah, and that's why they had the boat, because they were gonna take them and they were gonna hawk them somewhere else. So
Word
yeah, I'm
that
gonna.
these smugglers were friends of this guy.
I
So
don't
I'm
know.
trying to avoid talking about them.
Yeah, I'm not trying to talk about it directly, but that's why I was trying to roll investigation on the board, because I was trying to see if this is a conspiracy that he's trying to solve, or if he's like, oh my god, those are my friends, they're missing, holy shit. So that's why I was trying to roll investigation before saying anything else. So if someone else wants to roll investigation before we fucking spill our guts.
I'll
Would
roll
anybody-
an investigation.
I'm like, can we all roll?
If you feel like your character would be looking at it and worried, then absolutely.
Well, I'm more worried about the way that my fellow people are worrying.
You're more
love that.
investigating them.
I love that Koki's supportive.
Koki's
I
like, what's wrong, bruh? We did what we were supposed to do.
I'm now imagining that the energy of like a cat or a dog who is like in the middle of like people who are like stressing, walking back and forth, and is just staring at them like, what is happening? I do not understand, but people are worried for some reason.
I would like to roll investigation just to see if the guy I killed is on that board.
Sure.
Yep.
And then I'll let you roll, and then I'll start telling people information.
Nice one, babe.
All right, we'll start with the easiest. Ray, that person is not on the board.
Oh, thank God.
Baby, we did.
But to be fair, you would just be looking for a picture. It's not like you knew the dude's name. Shava and Koki. Koki, you, I'm assuming, are looking for reasons on why everybody's flipping shit.
Yeah.
You notice, really the only other thing that you're noticing that is up there that could be something that your friends know about is one name over and over and over and over, and that is Barrett Kanan. Would it not be up there multiple times?
No. We established.
How many times would it be up there?
Like maybe like maybe none actually. I'm not sure. Maybe
You don't
once
think
or
it was connected to any of them yet?
Oh wait. Sorry. We hadn't actually
Sidebar.
Sorry, brain
It's
glitch
okay,
there.
guys, take a
Okay,
sidebar,
no,
take a
he'd be
sidebar.
up there. He'd be up there enough, but not like the majority, is what I'm saying.
Okay. So slight recap. It's not up there for the majority of the notes and the different places and everything, but there is a few times. More than once. Would you say, Lindsay?
Yes, definitely more than once.
More than once is the name Barrett Kanan. But it doesn't look like the board is about Barrett Kanan. It's just up there.
I'm
Shava would
specifically looking to see if it's up there because he's trying to find these people, or if it's up there because he is part of these people.
Thank you, Shava. That's what I wanted.
All right, Lindsay, would you say most of the things up there are articles about missing items and people?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So the board seems to be mostly about things that are either missing or dead. Newspaper clippings, notes, records from guild activities, guild groups that went out and didn't come back, things like that. There's references of large amounts of number, but there doesn't seem to be referencing anything about like a specific group of smugglers. It seems to be mostly focused on missing items, people, and dead people.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt myself talking. I'm going to say, before I continue talking, what does that symbol mean behind you?
And he is, I forget what he was doing before, but if he was like jotting down, no, you just said something about a big hole and everything. So yeah, I was just trying to remember where we were last in the conversation. So he was definitely looking at you very strangely, and then you ask about that symbol. And he looks over at it and back at you. It's like, it's part of an investigation I'm doing. Now, can we get back to the topic at hand? What on earth are you talking? You said someone can fly. Was it a wizard? A sorcerer? I'm going to...
I crack up laughing at that point in time. No. He was what is his species called again?
Aarakocra.
He was an Aarakocra.
All right, that checks out with the region from my understanding. Okay, so you met an Aarakocra, and this individual gave you information on where these microgriffins were being stored. How did they get there?
Okay, so now that I know that you're not part of this, I think can we tell him the whole story, you guys?
He jerks up, somewhat offended looking at the statement of part of this, indicating the board.
God damn it.
I'm going to need some clarification from you all immediately.
I was going to try to step on your foot to stop you from saying that, but it's too late now. Okay. We had spoken to him after we gathered the information about the contents of the caravan being the microgriffins. He seemed upset to discover that winged creatures were being smuggled.
This is this Aarakocra individual you spoke of?
Yes.
Okay.
So we tracked him into the desert and found him under attack.
All right. Smugglers.
And they had that sign that's behind you.
Do you have this sign or document or...
I do. I don't want to give it. I'll show it to him. I don't want to give it up, but I will show it to him.
He puts down his pen and he goes to reach for it. Are you going to like pull it away?
I'm holding it out so he can see it.
So it's kind of like, are you like holding it up Like, so it's very obviously not being given to him.
Yeah, I'm showing it. I'm like, I've got
Okay,
a,
so
like a
you're like
handout
holding it like
showing him.
wanted poster style. Okay, got it.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry, wanted to double check.
Yeah.
So he's going to read over this for a sec here. Then he gets down to the symbol. Pauses.
Moment of truth.
Looks, because I assume you have the paper between you and him, so I'm imagining he like leans around to look back at you.
Yeah.
May I have this?
Why?
And he sits there for a moment and ponders. Do you have any more information about these individuals' activities?
Did we get any more information?
You had a
from our
ledger about
investigation in
their.
the cave? We did.
You
have
had
a
their ledger with their timetable and shit.
You know what? Hell with it. Yes, I will offer that up to him as well. Though, since it's a ledger and it's a bit more intensive than just the symbol and the sign, I will hand that over.
Okay. Then he's going to take the ledger. He flips back real quick to the most recent date and everything. Runs like, you see his eyes darting across it quickly as he flips a couple pages. Looks back to that note that you're holding up. Looks like he's tracking a thing. Then he turns around, pulls over what appears to be a
gun and shoots us.
like a calendar, like a paper. He pulls out a paper, like one of those big roll freaking desk calendars, like what you see in office spaces and stuff. And he's like counting the days back. And he sits back for a moment, and he does the little like peak finger thing, sitting here thinking about stuff for a second. He's like, all right. I need to investigate this matter more thoroughly. You'll forgive me, as this is an ongoing investigation. I can't be too specific with matters. But give me an hour. Come back. And I might have another job for you.
Can we get paid before?
At this time, I'm like 70-30 that we didn't fuck up.
Okay. Oh, yes, of course, your payment. Let me look back. As he flips through the documents. Yes. 60 divided. Would you like that in one lump or divided into 5?
Divided, please.
Divided.
Certainly. Takes out like basically a cash drawer pretty much, and like divides it into individual little parcels for you. It's like, and there you go. Seals up, locks, back away. And he's like, may I keep these? If not, I can quickly jot down some info from them as he's talking to Benny in the documents you have presented. Otherwise, it would be easier with these.
I'll just hand it over. If we're going to come back and do another job, I mean, I don't think that Benny would object. So yeah, I will hand them over.
Excellent.
Okay, so 60 divided by 5. I got to do math.
12.
Thank you.
I was just going to say 12.
I had to double check the calculator before you told you the number. Anyway. Oh, right, goodness. Sorry. Before you leave though, real quick. I take it you found these smugglers. You understandably, presumably, fought for your safety and they perished as part of the altercation?
Yes.
Okay. And did you actually manage to locate the merchants? Or
we did not.
No.
As a note, you did remember seeing like 3 skeletons and the skeleton of a horse around there.
Oh fuck! It's been so long. You're right.
You're good.
Yeah. Benny
It's
would
been
say as
months.
much. We found
don't worry.
we found remnants.
All right. That's some very nasty smugglers then, which is in line. And yes, he is saying that very quietly as he's jotting things down. All right, good. So that is all sorted. I will get that paperwork filed. And again, come back to me in an hour. Please. Thank you. You are dismissed. As he
All
now
dead.
goes back. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
No, I was just saying. I'll when we're dismissed. I don't need to be told twice. I will go.
I kind of just stare, look at him, this side eye, and then walk out, counting my monies.
We do love money. We do love it.
All right. As you guys. Oh, and shut the door on your way out. And then, as you would be doing that, you see him like starting to like get up and hurriedly sort through some ruffle through some papers all of a sudden. So.
Conspiracy.
As you exit the room, the receptionist kind of waves you out with a hand. She's already talking with other people and getting them situated and doesn't really have time to say goodbye. She seems pleasant enough, but she is occupied and obviously does not want you to loiter.
Who's she talking to?
Nobody you've seen yet. This looks like a human. The human's talking about something about produce being a little low right now and talking about opening up ordering a little bit more on the next shipment.
It doesn't seem like anything related to the whole kerfuffle we just encountered.
Nah, it seems like basic town upkeep information.
Then, okay, all right. Then we can go occupy ourselves, I guess. The thing I have to do isn't until later, right?
No.
Yeah. So
Lindsay, you are muted if you are talking.
Sorry, I mute myself on both the OBS and the Discord because I don't know if the recording is picking up both. Anyway, yes. You actually get one more note here. I have no idea what that thing is you just typed there, Carissa, because I'm not familiar with that word. But what you call it? Kelsey, I'm going to be sending you a thing. One moment,
Yes.
because I forgot you get one more thing. I just need to track
yes.
what you do. Okay, yes. You get Okay. That is the thing you got this morning.
Okay, 1 second.
And as a reference, this is the thing you got the night. Hang on, let me just. Okay, and that's the one you got the night before if you just needed to catch up.
Gotcha.
Sorry, we
All right.
resolved the whole Batman side quest a lot quicker than I thought about, and I got distracted and forgot that was a thing I needed to do. My apologies.
I would have Batmaned all session. It's just Katie's not here to Batman with me.
We'll make it another reason for you guys to Batman eventually, don't worry.
Thank you.
All right. So, as you guys are exiting and pocketing your gold, which as a reminder, if you haven't added it to your character sheet, please do. If you don't know how, just message us on Discord and one of us will walk you through it. There is a rather loud kerfuffle going on. People aren't screaming, but they're unhappy and attracting a crowd. And standing out in the middle, as proud as fucking can be, is Noah, your little octopus friend from yesterday.
Oh no, octopus man.
Staring down a rather cyan-tinted gnome who looks as utterly unpleased as Noah looks elated.
Can I vibe check? Can I investigate the situation to try to see what the what the general tenor of the crowd is.
What are you looking for specifically?
I want to know what they're arguing about. I want to get a feel.
Okay.
What's the kerfuffle? Why happened? Oh, that's much better. Where was that?
You weren't meant to know. It's very obvious. It's the first thing you notice about the situation. The gnome is wearing robes that seem to be indicated of a completely different branch and cult for Midas.
Oh.
So the gnome, a little cyan-skinned, dark green hair, colorful even for gnomes, seems to be hands on hip, typical outfit from the Keepers. And the Keepers are the record keeper faction of Midas worship that really wants to kind of like protect the integrity of a lot of things. She has the kind of face that is normally associated with kind people, big apple cheeks and you know, a wide friendly mouth, but right now it's kind of pursed and her face is starting to flush and she's kind of leaning forward even though that's not going to do anything cuz she's like 3'9".
Aw.
And she's just unhappy. So very unhappy. And Noah is like, it is not my fault that I am better at performing acts of service for the community than you. It's not. And it becomes very apparent very quickly that this is a religious argument.
Yeah, they're just straight up having like a religious debate in the middle of the town.
They're having the kind of spat that only people with bad blood can have.
Ooh, so there's a history here. There's a dirty religious history here.
So,
Hey, I'm not gonna. I don't. That octopus is not my friend, but I'm interested, so I'm gonna hear out what's going on, but I'm not gonna get involved.
I am going to go and try to find a bag for my microgriffin. I do not care about this argument at all.
Shava's like, plot? No. Microgriffin.
I don't need plot. I need bags.
I need backpacks for my microgriffin. I will
Alright.
stay to glean important information.
What is an octopus?
All right, so Shava's going off shopping. Does anybody go off with her, or do you all want to watch the open drama?
Oh, I want to watch the drama.
It didn't. I don't think it did.
It came through.
Okay.
Koki, what are you doing?
I'm debating. So far, we've got one person watching and one person going shopping.
People watching.
Ray's also watching with me.
I'm gonna watch, but I don't think I can sit still, so I'm just gonna be kind of like pacing around.
Fair, fair. You're at the Merchants Guild, so it's not too far off to where probably most of the stores would be. Lindsay, would you agree with that?
Yes, actually. Specifically, the stores, the main shopping area, or at least like the old town shopping area, is actually this sort of region here. I think you can see my mouse wiggling around. Yes? Is that a thing?
Yep.
Yes. This is the sort of thing. The merchant guild was right over here. So yeah, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump, like right up over in here. Oh, and a little bit
Okay.
over here, but mostly over here.
Shava, do you say anything before you leave?
I literally say, I'm staying out of this one. And I walk off.
All right.
I'm assuming. Hey, I don't know how he would say. Like, he'd want her to come back, but like just in time to get more information. But he's such a fucking wiener. I have no idea how he'd even express it. I guess he'd probably just be a shitty older brother and be like, "Be back in an hour." Fucking
I
wiener.
notice his discomfort and I said, you can come with if you want.
Patrama.
He does want to see the octopus get roasted.
Okay.
He does. The octopus who paid for our boat, like, very kindly, but also with ulterior motives. So, actually, yeah, you know what? He doesn't feel bad.
What ulterior motives?
His religious
Oh.
proselytizing.
Yeah, that's obviously what it is.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it to be nice. He was doing it to try to recruit. He's a
I
Mormon.
mean, he literally just said that he's better at it in front of a lot of people. That's not a very good
Yeah,
You
he's
way
don't
to.
know what she said before you walked out. You don't know what they were doing before you walked out. You just know he looks like he's winning the argument.
I'm
because he
judgmental when it comes to stuff like this.
yeah, he dresses in a very ostentatious fashion and he's taller than her. Probably he's winning the argument just because people are judgmental.
Wow.
Remember the tallest rule.
I
See?
love how this character has come in and been nothing but polite to you. And you guys are like, fuck him. He's a Mormon. He's trying to get me to believe in Jesus in ways I don't wanna. Fuck him. He's sexist, obviously.
Isn't that not the D&D way? You make like the nicest NPC and they're like, fuck that guy, I don't trust him. And then you make the shadiest bastard and they're like, that's my bestie right there.
Let's
Isn't
get
that
all our money.
Are you guys going to be that way? Is that what I need to be careful of?
apparently so. Listen, man, I didn't like that octopus's vibes because I was already in a bad mood from getting fleeced. So I think that's gonna color my impression of him every single time, unfortunately.
You guys were just worried that the dude that works for the Merchants Guild and was paying you openly had the symbol of a group of murderers up on his wall as if he was a member of the group.
I forgot about the skeletons. Be nice to me.
Anyways.
It's been months. I forgot that we found bodies. I was like, oh, fuck, maybe we killed the wrong people.
Fair.
Be nice to me.
All right. Anyways, Lindsay, are you ready for this improv bullshit?
All right. Yeah, you just said. If that's the beginning of the prompt, I can try. If you want to give me a little bit more, that'd be appreciative. But otherwise, I can run this shit.
Yeah. So, you can kind of hear the crowd murmuring a little bit, and a whole bunch of people being like, "I really don't understand what the problem was. Like, they were doing different things across the way from each other, and now they're bickering. Like, they weren't even really interacting. It's bizarre." And somebody else the other way is just kind of like sneaking off, kind of like trying to like get out of the way, but the gnome and Noah just keep looking at him like, you better fucking stay here. So he's obviously involved somehow, but the rest of the group around them does not seem to feel that way. From the group muttering, it sounds like these two made electric eye contact from across the fucking road and started a beef. And nobody knows why. Noah is just continuing on because the gnome is just looking at him like he is the biggest jackass on the fucking planet, and he's just like, it's not my fault. It's not pretty much just, it's not my fault, you suck. Like, as you remember from your interaction with him at the dock, he's very well worded. He's not being openly antagonistic, but it's very obvious that he is not pulling any punches either. He's like, I have always been better at approaching people and instinctually knowing what they need. It's not my fault that you didn't realize what the man actually needed.
Some of us are more focused on their actual jobs rather than mindlessly pandering and trying to save face in front of every person on the planet. Some of us are in the middle of tests and maybe they make the best decision, maybe they don't. I don't know, but all I know is I don't need to showboat my devotion to the Lord.
Showboat? Don't showboat. Just because I do things in a way that is so excellent that it stands out doesn't mean I go about my day trying to actually stand out. Some of us are capable of multitasking. Some of us work for a temple that actually gives a shit about other people instead of just collecting dusty books.
Those dusty books are the heritage of our Lord. And I'll have you know, I am not specifically a member of. I'll have you know, I am more focused on the preservation of the physical structures, all the temples that you preside in, and as opposed to individuals who have no regard for the integrity of these buildings, of these artifacts, and instead bandy them about as though they were props in your glorious play to audition for the Lord's favor.
Need favor? I have favor. Unlike you, I'm more preoccupied with helping the people that he left behind, that he would want us to protect and do things with, than caring about some building. And if that building is cared for and we have the ability to care for it, then that's great because it stands out and people see it and they see a sense of power. It is not my fault that you put history over actual current affairs. That place could burn for all I care. And there's like a gasp through the crowd.
It goes, holy shit.
And this gnome is also like noticeably taken aback, like not pearl clutching like I am because I'm kind of getting into this. I'm sorry, but like just because I don't imagine she is the pearl clutching play, but she is noticeably also taken aback by this. But yes, carry on.
So Noah just kind of like huffs and he's like, you know what? Fine. You can help him. Have fun. Help him. I don't need to grandstand. Unlike other people, I don't feel the need to gatekeep who helps who. If you want to help him, help him. It's not my fault you can't be gracious when help is given. And it becomes very apparent that Noah might have had good intentions when this all came in, but he's just as offended as the woman. And it was probably not taken very well that this gnome didn't want his help. And he's just like, Rowan, you've always been like this. I don't understand. If we both worship Midas and it doesn't matter that you don't think he's alive and that he's not coming back. It doesn't fucking matter. And then he started cussing. And that's when like,
fuck, damn.
some of the facade seems to start coming off of him. And he goes from like this very like proud position that he was beforehand, kind of like peering not necessarily down his nose at her, but in a I'm morally right in this situation, to somebody who's like defensive. Like, and it kind of just reinforces the idea that this is probably a conversation that has happened multiple times. This is not new. This is not fresh ground. This is two people arguing about something that has happened repetitively.
Two people with just completely clashing personalities.
Exactly. And he's just like, it shouldn't fucking matter. And I don't understand why you have to do everything by yourself and why you think that help is just
Oh boy.
anything other than help.
Because it is hard to take help seriously from one who uses it in insincere ways.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying.
And Noah just is now his turn to look affronted. He's like, insincere? Insincere? And he just kind of stands there for a second. Miss Ballyhoo, I wish you a wonderful day. But as per usual, it seems as though we will not see eye to eye. I apologize for any discomfort I gave you. goodbye. And he just leaves. He just walks away into the crowd.
Before he
Or,
goes.
you know. Mm,
Before he goes.
yes.
Okay. Hold on.
No worries. Take a second.
Hold on. Let me look something up.
Is this a question we could answer quicker than you looking up like notation in the books or something?
I just wanted to know because I want to like I still think he's #sus. Like I don't know, I'm just so wildly skeptical of this man who was nothing but nice to me. And True Strike won't alert him to me casting it on him, but I don't know if it only gives me advantage on oh, I'm thinking of Hunter's Mark. Never mind, just kidding.
I was gonna say, if you're trying to give yourself advantage on
No, I'm not
insight, I
gonna
think the word
attack
you're
him.
looking is guidance. I believe is the one that gives you advantage on something or other. But
Yeah,
I
I just
also
wanna
don't think
know-
you have that one.
No, I have True Strike, which I know there's a spell that you can cast that gives you like weaknesses / resistances, but that's not True Strike. So never mind. Just kidding. JK. I never mind.
Okay.
Feel free. Be done. It's okay.
And I'm trying to remember if it was in fact guidance, because you got me thinking about spells.
I feel like it's Hunter's Mark, but I don't.
Okay, no, the guidance lets you add D4 to ability checks. Never mind.
Yeah.
If it's Hunter's Mark, then that's like exclusively a ranger thing.
Yeah, my bad. I'm crazy.
Anyway, sorry for the distraction.
Sorry.
No worries, carry on.
So do you want to do anything?
No, I'm good.
All right. So Noah does his little bloop glide off the screen, you know, as it were. And Rowan is just kind of left there, like breathing in and out to obviously calm herself down from this bullshit. The dude just that they kept like keeping next to them continues to kind of just like stand there awkwardly.
The guy that they've been arguing about in front of him.
Yes, it's kind of like mom and dad arguing about their kid. He's just kind of sitting there with like his hands like folded in front of him, being like, ha ha ha. And somebody kind of comes from like the other side to like talk to people over here, because it's not a big town, but it's not a small town. And what else do you have to do aside from rumor monger?
Of course.
And you kind of overhear just this little tidbit of being like, he just wouldn't let her get in an edgewise. I don't think he meant anything by it. It's just she was trying to help him find like some information of like a nearby library that might have some information, and she was like, well, I don't know. And as she's like talking to the person next to her, it's very obvious they're friends. Like it's two girls having a good time that might have been out on the town beforehand, or you know, maybe they get drinks together, that kind of friendship. And they're just kind of like sitting there like chit chatting about it. And she's like, well, was he like rude or anything? She's like, no, he was just kind of oblivious. Like she kept trying to like, you know, continue the conversation with the dude that she was helping. And in the distance, like Rowan, the gnome, is talking to the person that was kind of caught in the middle of things quietly, so it's not really easy to hear what she's saying. She looks slightly apologetic, but mostly just miffed. And the dude looks like he's just nodding to get away from her as fastly as possible. And she's like, yeah, it was just, you know, it just sounded like he wanted information on like the nearest like library that would have something. And she was like, well, I don't know if I necessarily am the best person to ask about that. Blah 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 blah. Not that I really care about books, says the woman. Gasp. You know, it just, I don't know, they seem like oil and water. They just did not seem to like each other very much. And you can kind of hear like snippets around that are of very similar mindset. Neither people seem to handle the interaction very, very well.
I would like to approach the woman, who is probably comically small compared to me if she was comically small compared to the octopus man.
Yes, she is 3'9".
Yeah, I'm almost twice her height. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I would like to approach her.
All right, Lindsay.
So are you like stepping into her view? Are you standing there menacingly? How are you approaching her?
I'm not gonna stand there menacingly. Once I'm like within like close earshot, like I'm not gonna like call out over other people, but once I'm like to the point where we can have a quieter conversation, I'm just gonna ask. Not a fan of his.
As she takes a turn to you as like noticing that you are just there suddenly. She looks like she's about to respond, and then she turns back to the gentleman who's been nodding confused, like, "Are you gonna be all right then with the information I got you? I hope I helped you out enough."
It's fine, ma'am. I think you told me the appropriate places for me to find it elsewhere. Thank you.
Fantastic. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. Bye. And
Anyway,
he darts off.
turning back to Betty here. Hang on. Noah, right? What's his name? Noah and I just have disagreements.
Is this a common thing? Do you disagree often?
He and I specifically, not uncommonly, I imagine you could say.
What? Did he start this or did you?
Well, I was just trying to help that gentleman find his way, and Noah just stepped in and was talking over me and was trying to just get the credit for everything. He has to be the center of attention in anything he's doing. And it's a little frustrating sometimes is all.
Is that common in his sect?
Oh, in his sect? Yes, they do good works, don't get me wrong, but they do tend to attract those of the faith who are in it for the validation rather than the good works.
This is all like reinforcing the biases that Benny has already formed about this very beautiful octopus man. So he's into it. He's into it.
Benny's just nodding, like, yes, tell me more.
He's nodding quietly, empathetically. This is the most empathetic listening he's ever done in his life. Do I want station? What else do I want? To reinforce how much I don't like the octopus man, yes, I know. Oh my god, I don't know. Did anyone else come up to talk with me? Or am I alone? Is Benny by himself?
Benny looks around for emotional backup and finds no one. There is crickets. Benny has been left to struggle bug on his own.
And he doesn't even do people well anyway.
I walked away about halfway through that because it just was not my cup of tea, and I went swimming at the nearest pool of water that I could find.
Koki is gone.
I'm
Koki
just
has
watching this
been
like,
gone.
man, how bad can you fuck up a conversation?
That's so mean.
That has come to stand next to you in tall support, but is also kind of just looking at you like, dude, you don't normally act like this. I don't know what to help with. I don't know what you want.
God damn. He just wanted to get a little info. Well, oh fuck. I don't know how to dismount from this.
Anyway, so there's been like this pause hanging here for a moment, and Rowan, is that how we pronounce that name? I think, yep, okay. Do you wanted confirmation? Rowan is looking at you. It's just like, is that everything you needed? I actually have to get ready for an event I'm going to.
The auction?
She looks at you very puzzled. It's an auction. Are
Hmm.
you going as well?
The octopus is going.
Of course he is.
She would know that.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if she would know that. Yes.
She would know
I
that.
sorry. Thank you. Wasn't sure. Okay.
It's fine.
Then instead of that, she says, "It's like, yes, I am aware."
Well, that is all I needed. So I'm going to just give her a little salute and dip.
Have a lovely day.
Oh no. Terrible. Terrible. Everyone left me to drown. No one helped me. Benny's alone in the world.
Benny has been abandoned. I'm sorry, Benny.
Benny has been abandoned.
That's what happens where you go for gossip, but you have a negative charisma.
Listen. Listen, man. When you have muscles, you don't need charisma.
I don't want much attention. I can get it with these guns.
That's worked out so far.
Hey, man, it did. It did. I've got +3 to strength. That works. Oh my god. Well, you know what? I hope Shava's having a nice time shopping.
Speaking of, we should probably cut to that.
Yeah. Shava is a couple blocks away having a nice time shopping. While there's nothing specifically made for microgriffins, quadrupedic pets of that size are somewhat popular. Who would have thunk it? It's almost like the microgriffins were bred to be available in that market.
Pet size.
The market isn't super big, so it's not like there's a lot of like specialty pet shops hanging around. It is mostly a port city that deals with boats, not winged friends. But there are a handful of people that seem to be selling, you know, the typical pet stuff, couple harnesses, couple books on how to train not your dragon, but anything else you could possibly want to use.
How to train your wyvern.
How to train your wyvern. I like that. And like, you know, a couple like totes and handbags. There is, you find eventually, one bag that possibly could be big enough for him, but it's a gold. It's a chunky price, and it doesn't have any way for him to see out. It is open in the top and just like a very sturdy, well-made giant leather backpack that's just like a little bit deeper.
Is the bottom solid?
Yes. It's made for pets. It normally probably holds either a very large cat or a small dog.
I look at my microgriffin and I look at the bag and I ask him, would this work for you?
Microgriffin takes some effort to actually even make eye contact with you because he's still very insistent on having his face like this up against yours, still straight up perpendicular into the sky. It's also fully daytime now, so he is a snoozing in and out. And so like you start talking to him, he's just like and like does not respond.
I love him. He's so sleepy.
He's a sleepy boy.
So I am just going to pay them the gold. I'm not going to haggle. I'm just going to give him
Okay.
the gold. And I'm going to pry him off my shoulders and put him in the bag.
So the shopkeep notices that that's an animal they've never seen before. And they're like, I am so what is that?
Oh, it's a microgriffin.
She stutters a little bit. Who's it? What's it? Did you like catch it or?
Oh no, we got him from a breeder.
Never heard of this pet before. Is it like from a specific island or?
He is actually the breeder is right across the land bridge on the other side of the desert.
And you said he's a microgriffin?
Yes.
So is that a new type of pet?
From what he told us, yes, it is rather new.
the person kind of like looks over the edge of her stand and like looks your arms up and down. It's very obvious where she's looking. And she goes, "If you let me see him for a moment, and you can watch me, I don't need to take him anywhere. I will give you an arm brace for free for him to land on without tearing up your arm."
Oh my god. What
Um,
bounty?
So while watching very carefully, I don't trust people, but an arm brace sounds wonderful. So I hand him over.
Okay. Um, she kind of just like clears a spot on the table and lets you kind of like plop him down. She does the kind of things that you often see with people who are very used to well-bred animals. Poses him a specific way, touches him very gently to like check the muscle structure, look in his eyes, which he doesn't want to open. And she, after the first attempt, does not force it. She's just going, whatever, dude.
Actually, if
He's
we
knocked.
I was just going to say, if depending on how much we want to make him actually like a Potu, their eyelids are actually somewhat see-through in that they can see shadows and stuff. And if they feel threatened or there is an enemy, one of their things is to literally snap their eyes super wide open to try and spook predators.
So he does that as she's pulling away from trying to check her eyes, and she jumps back about 3 feet. He goes, "Ah!" Not a loud scream, but a very much like a startled "what the fuck?" And it's probably the first time you've seen it as well, Shava. But
Instead of being spooked, though, I just start to giggle and I give him some scritches under his neck to calm him down.
Because he's our beautiful team pet and we love and support him no matter how fucked up he is sometimes.
So as you were trying to like scritch, under his chin, he's just slowly putting his head straight up, trying to get you to let him rest his head against your hand the same way he was resting against your head. He's sleepy, man. He's so tired. The shopkeep is like, "Okay, that's an interesting defense mechanism. Did all of them look like this?"
No, he was the only one of his kind. He's so ugly, he's cute, and I keep scratching him.
She's like, "Uh-huh. I'm interested to see what a normal one looks like." I don't suppose you know the name of the person.
I forget.
Do you as a character forget, or do you as a person forget?
Me as a person forget.
It's okay,
His
I
name
don't
is
remember his name
Varys.
either.
His
name is
name is
Varys.
Varys.
And you said he was
Varys-
across the land bridge?
Yes, he
I
is.
was way off. I was like, I think it starts with an H. I'm like, we just went over this.
I literally
I
just
still
had this
can't
conversation.
remember.
It's okay. You know what? You know what, Day? It's perfectly in character for Koki to not remember at all. I feel like.
That's fair.
Very, very much so, because I've got ADD like no one's business.
So she kind of like finishes up her assessment, and it's like, well, that is very, very lucrative information for me. Thank you. I can actually hopefully start preparing. Were the other ones about the size, however?
They were the same size, but they were not nocturnal.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's even better to know. In that case, so she kind of like shuffles under her stand and like pulls out something else. She's like, "This is normally made for hawking, so it should be more than enough for the size of talons that he has, and give him like a place to land if he's coming in hot without ripping you a new one with them claws." So she hands you the leather bracer.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for all of that lovely information. His appearance is growing on me. I can see why he's so ugly. He's cute. I wish you the best of luck. He seems a bit clingy.
Oh,
It's a shame for a cat. But thank you.
Yeah. And I take my bag and my brace, and I head out. after
Uh,
putting him gently into the bag.
All right, and I'll take that gold out of your inventory.
I already took it out.
Yes, I will.
No, I already did.
Oh, you already did? Okay, I will leave it alone then. Never
Okay.
mind. Okay, and that is your shopping excursion. I would say that's maybe been, I don't know, Lindsay, what, half an hour at best? Okay, so is there anything else you guys wanted to do before heading back to the guild and just kind of waiting? What do you guys want to do?
The message I got,
Yes.
is that a location?
No.
No.
Not that you would be familiar with in the code that is normally sent to you.
Okay. Because I got to figure out where to go for that. But, I mean, I'm assuming I'm going to do it after. I'm not going to have time in half an hour, so.
Probably
Never mind. I'll probably just kill time. I don't have anything that I wanted, so I'm just gonna chill. Just gonna wait. Probably stop the cats from stealing anything.
I'm not stealing. I'm swimming.
You are swimming. That's true. You're very well behaved.
Excuse me?
Hey,
wanted
I
to steal
was the
the
one
sheets
that
at
wanted to
second
steal the sheets at the beginning of the whole game.
Oh,
Yeah!
Oh my god! I thought that was Ray.
Disparaging my fucking name yet again.
Well, still.
You guys have all of these perceptions of me that continue to be wrong.
Did you make us a sick nasty flag last night? Also.
Yeah, I did, and I don't know if I want to show it to you.
No. I'm sorry.
This might be a good time. Koki's not there to give her information, but it might be a good time for Shava's probably reapproaching to have Faraday and Benny tell them about the excursions last night.
Mm-hmm. We can confess that we found dead ends, which I don't want to confess, but if the shoe fits.
I say, "Oh, that's disappointing," in a slightly condescending tone.
That's so rude. He's gonna kick your ass.
Shava's like,
How big are those shoes?
How could you?
That's so mean. Poor Penny's having a bad day.
He's just failing miserably at all forms of socialization.
Yeah,
then I
not
feel
investigating well.
And then I feel bad I made him so sad, so I'm like, look at my new pet bag.
You know what? That actually does kind of cheer him up a little bit. So, but he doesn't. But now that you've hurt his feelings, he doesn't want to show it. So Can I deception?
Yeah, sure. Roll a deception check for me.
It's gonna be bad. Oh shit!
Okay, so that's a pass. How do you actually look?
Stone fucking cold.
Hmm.
She gets
That's-
one single. It's nice.
Do you look inside the bag because there isn't a top to it?
Okay, yeah, kind of. Because I would notice that he's not out, so I'd probably look and see him in there, which probably super cute in there, right?
So, do you guys remember how I described he constantly just wants to have his head like straight up on stuff?
Yeah.
So when you look in the bag, he's doing that to the side.
Oh, that's really cute, actually.
Just straight up, eyes closed, heavy breathing in the way that a pug does, but not quite as strangled.
He's so disgusting. I love him so much.
Hey, Benny, you
And-
should pet him really, really fast.
Oh my god, that's so mean. That's so mean. I don't trust that shit. I would like to roll insight before I do that.
Do it. How good is your self-control? Unfortunately, your self-control is pretty high, and before you can instinctually pet the burb, you realize that's a very odd request.
Yeah, that's shady shit. I'm an older sibling. I know younger sibling bullshit. I know when you're fucking with me.
I ask if anyone else wants to pet him.
Let me roll Farida's insight.
Oh no.
Where?
Uh-oh. How'd it go?
Unlike Benny,
Oh, no.
Farida does not have any self-control when it comes to not touching the burb. All
Or-
she needed was permission. And in her hand goes to touch the burb, and its eyes snap open and makes a little ruffled noise as it gets touched unexpectedly. Farida, unfortunately, I just closed her character sheet.
No.
It'll be fun with rolls. I'll give her athletics because she has advantage in that. Recovers perfectly well, however, and just kind of like jerks her hand out of the bag and is like, whoo, that was mean.
That was
I
mean.
snicker.
And Farida just kind of glares at Shava good-naturedly.
I love
The trick I learned today.
we can get so many fucking people with that trick.
New goal unlocked.
Scare the shit out of people with our burb.
Okay. So, does anybody else have anything else they want to do, or you just all want to say that you are waiting for that hour to pop up?
I'm waiting. I got nothing else.
I'm gonna look around and see if anyone's looking specifically for me.
It doesn't look like anybody's making direct eye contact with you immediately. And the people you would be looking for would have like a very distinct appearance about them. So, unlikely.
Okay.
So, with that, I'm going to say an hour passes. It is 9 o'clock. I just want to do a check in with everybody. How's everybody feeling?
I'm gonna have to go to bed soon.
Oh no, Day.
Day.
No, Day.
Oh.
Not Day. Oh my god.
Christelle.
Oh my god. Like it doesn't pop up who's who, and you sounded just like Day in that moment. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Christelle.
That's okay.
I was gonna say I'll probably have to be in bed in about an hour, so
Okay, so why don't we get started on the next scene to kind of give you guys a plot cut to mull over, and then we'll call it for the night.
Gotcha.
So we can kind of go into the scene knowing that we can't take too terribly long yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know about that with us.
We'll see what we can manage to do. Let's try.
Okay. Well, at least we'll say that I came back from swimming on time to meet up with everybody.
Do you feel like Koki would come back in time?
I mean, I'm timely. I may be ADD, but I try to be timely. I may be scraggling in at the last minute, but
Still a little wet from your swim.
oh yeah.
We would
The
go
scales,
looking for
the
you.
scales
If you
dry
didn't,
fast though.
we would go looking for you if you didn't come back.
All right, so you guys come back in, and Drawn is like waiting in the doorway to his office, ready to grab you, and he ushers you in quickly. Sitting in the room already is another person. If you all would like to roll perception checks.
I will.
You do not have to, but I do like rolls.
I do be perceiving. Oh my god. Koki, no!
That's what happens when I'm still wet.
You're just thinking about how nice it was to swim. You're not in the moment.
Why can't we roll like this in battles?
I know.
Only.
And then you guys probably can't see it but we also did get a roll from Ray.
Yeah, you're right. You're rolling jaw.
Oh, damn it.
It's not that big of a deal. Anyways, so what you see is a man with a very actually for real world purposes rather average in appearance. He's got blonde hair, brown eyes, hawkish features, human. Um he kind of is just dressed in this very basic outfit that kind of looks like the kind of like comfort wear that you would wear while traveling. He looks a little tired and quite a bit flustered. But he doesn't seem to be taking it out on you. He kind of just like passively awkwardly waves as you come in through the door. Dran, would you like to take over? We'll let Lindsay unpause.
Sorry about that.
You all, yes.
All right. So, thank you all for coming back here. Oh, this is my associate. Hang on, I literally just read his name. Ezekiel. Thank you. Sorry about that. This is my associate Ezekiel here. I'll get to him in a minute. I need to explain this in order. Okay. So as he like points to the board, and yes, he does do the meme stance. Like, all right,
good to know.
All right. So this, as I explained, was part of an investigation. Specifically one I've been working on for over a year now. Never mind. That's not important. Just note that this symbol has been tied to many different events, very different crimes, disappearances, cargo lost, missing, delayed, all these other these various instances. But never like the same group, and all the perpetrators that we have been able to locate they aren't captured alive for questioning, unfortunately. So I have been attempting to track. I've managed to isolate and track the origins of this symbol to this region of the archipelago. And what you have brought me is immense. Because you see, this shipment was clearly kept under wraps. But these guys, there were very few people who would have potentially known about this, as far as I can tell. And yet, these smugglers were hired successfully to target it. Which means
It's coming
that...
from the inside.
Wait, do you say that in like actually, or what? Just like out of character?
Yeah, in character.
Maybe not necessarily as much as loath as I am to say it, because the individual specifically who hired this, who orchestrated this shipment, as far as I can tell, he has nothing to gain from delaying it thusly. But actually, that works out well. So basically, by investigating into this specific situation, the shipment was for and orchestrated by a individual, a merchant by the name of... I forget his last name every time. Kanan, thank you. By a gentleman by the name of Barrett Kanan. Now, he is a difficult individual to work with, but not... He tends to not necessarily fill out all of his paperwork correctly, but nothing that, unfortunately, relegates anything other than a fine, which he is always all too happy to pay. It just so happens that all of his paperwork flubs seem to magically benefit him in some way. But I digress. As I said, as much as I'd like for him to be involved in this somehow, in this particular instance, it makes no sense. Although it does seem, as Dran points to a couple different articles, that he is somehow connected to this, though I'm not sure what specifically. Now, following that, hang on, I have to double check notes. Where the bollocks did I put them? There they are. right. So, following that, I was able to figure out. I was able to locate Barrett. Well, specifically, I mostly wanted to contact him because he needs to pay a fine for marking commercial pets as perishable goods, which is not how that works at all. And he just looks very frustrated. But sorry.
Ezekiel kind of just chuckles in the corner as if this is a common problem.
Anyway, so I was attempting to locate Barrett, but I was informed that he is actually on the riverboat New Beginnings, scheduled to have a private auction, for which I was able to track down my associate Ezekiel here, who is also supposed to be our participant in this auction. And we were, and would you like to enlighten them somewhat on this regards, or I can continue further?
Ezekiel takes a deep sigh and is like, all right. Here's the thing. I work for the specialty branch of the Merchants Guild. And for those of you who don't understand what that means, it means I work for people with very specific skill sets looking for very specific things. And because of that, I don't really want to burn bridges. So I'm going to give you this information. And once I leave these doors, I don't know you.
Understood.
Everybody able to understand that concept? I will pretend like you don't exist. You can.
I'm sorry, would you say your name was?
It's Ezekiel.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Ezekiel just kind of gives you this look like he's watching you. He's like, that being said, I am very good at remembering ridiculous amounts of information. I was sent by several people I work for in the specialty guild looking for different types of resources. And because of that, I'm in a unique position that I've already researched a lot of the people that are going to be on this auction exclusion with us. For those of you who don't understand how this sort of thing works or haven't participated in it or haven't had any interest in knowing what it does, people like Barrett, who are known for acquiring rare goods, will hold auctions where they invite people from different groups or factions, people they're close to, in order to sell off rare and unusual goods or even information for a price to the highest bidder. In this situation, Barrett has rented out the New Beginnings, a boat, possibly because one of the people who was interested in the auction was the maker of the boat, the owner, I should say, of the boat. So maybe he got a deal there, or maybe he just likes the idea of the way this auction will work. Everybody's going to get on the boat. You're going to have some time to gamble on it. It's pretty much a mobile casino.
Gambling?
Ezekiel kind of just looks at you like, oh. Dinner will be served. The dining floor will be closed off and converted into an auction room late into the night. And then the next morning, it will dock at the next port where it's going. And then everybody will get off with their goods if they're material. Kanan will probably have people there. The people attending the auction will probably have people there to prevent theft, and the boats themselves probably have their own private, in fact I know they have their own private guards and stuff because it's a gambling boat, so they got to protect the money somehow. They're relatively lucrative in this area. There's a bunch of just very easily traversable islands with very deep rivers in this area. It's a pretty big market. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, and he gets up and you realize that Drawn has already cleaned off his desk. It's surprisingly bare. And Ezekiel just puts down a giant just collage of just little fucking post-it cards all over the place. And it looks like this.
Oh shit.
It's like, including myself and Barrett, there will be 20 people attending this auction. And they all have their own goals and acquisitions and reasons for being there and connections. I try to connect the people with Twine, and he points at it, kind of looking a little bit proud of himself. I try to connect the people with Twine that, are connected. Some of them are spouses, some of them are colleagues, to try to kind of make it easier for you guys to kind of absorb the information. I know it's a lot. Some of the people are a little bit more popular, so I was able to get photos of them. Miss Hazel down here is a well-known starlet, so it was pretty easy to pull something from her stuff. Axton is the person who owns the boat. He's registered with the Merchants Guild, not necessarily a member, but registered with and does work with us. So I was able to, we had, records here of his photo, so on and so forth. Up here, he points at the very tippy top right of all of the paperwork is some basic information on Kanan, who is probably the person you need to be the most careful about if you're going to try to be getting information. Kanan is smart. And I say that with somebody who works with a lot of smart people. It is best to try not to interact with him beyond anything that'll keep you from looking suspicious. So right below that, we have the docket for what was going to be on this auction. So what you might notice all the way at the bottom, and then I'll go over the rest of the items, is that this main event was actually the microgriffins that you guys found. He says, kind of starting to speak faster, get more excited. It seems like my guess, knowing how Kanan works, is that Kanan, got an only exclusive knowledge about the microgriffins and helped funded them. And he's actually gotten everybody onto the boat in hopes of selling the microgriffins to them. It's actually caused quite a bit of problems that they didn't get back to town in time for Barrett. And because of that, he's had to offer a secondary item as kind of collateral, I guess. Lindsay, what was the secondary item he's offering?
That would be information on a new natural phenomenon and the island of its location.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure because I know we threw around like 4 ideas and I didn't remember the wrong one.
Perfectly
So
fine.
he's like,
By the way, real quick, while
aisles
you've
are-
got a pause here, I just want you to know that as he's getting more excited, Drawn is like looking at him like, yeah, I know it's awesome, isn't it?
They've been
Like-
in this conspiracy forever for a while, and now they finally got solid info, and they're like, yes.
do it. He's like, okay, so like the thing that's not on this docket that they're being offered in place of the microgriffins is a very rare thing that normally would be sold privately from Kanan, but I think it's being offered here as kind of a incentive to not burn bridges from not having the main event. And that is so the Isles are rife with magic. We all know it. It's just the thing that happens. Kanan claims he has found a new natural phenomena that hasn't been tapped into yet that would be lucrative. Normally when this kind of stuff is thrown out in the air, it tends to be a new magical species, a well of magic, a magical event kind of like the never-ending thunderstorms, or a new cyclone that is going to drastically change the water currents, or a new species of plant that has a magical effect. It's normally something pretty big, and for him to keep it both on the hush hush and use it to replace the item means it's probably going to be pretty valuable information, which means it's going to be a hell of an auction. One of the other things that's going on is there is going to be a contract up with the Baroness Terethalak Zofrina. She has been mining lumber and is looking to expand her empire. She will also be there participating in the auction, as well as her second hand / butler / aide. They have a very close relationship, but it is a working relationship. It's odd. We some weapons of returning, which are items and weapons that just like come back to you, so rather highly enchanted. He has somebody who makes cloaks of stealth just for him to sell, and that'll be this season's Cloak of Stealth. We haven't found out what it's going to look like yet. We also have a dress from the famous Melody Rowing, in which Miss Hazel is here to acquire, as everybody is unsurprised by. Miss Hazel likes to show off her wealth and act like she is old people. Or old people isn't very fair. I'm sorry, it's not really my area of expertise. I don't handle public. He says with kind of a little bit of unpleasantness to his face. Anyways, multiple pieces inlaid with Norvish garnets, locations of suspected influxes of fey magic, which they normally try to keep out of the social zeitgeist because a lot of places find it illegal to tap into that. Hunting locations for the Red Forest stag. That's something that hunters have been looking for a while. Gnomish architecture manuscripts dating from 100 years ago, which is probably why the keeper rep is here. Roy Owen. She normally shows up for stuff that's historical information. We've also got somebody who works with the Shalaran libraries, which are everybody would know out of character. That is like the massive libraries that the Shalarans as a race keep records of everything for. And then we've also got somebody from, surprisingly, we have a merfolk noble that'll be joining us that is also going to be interested in some of that. And then we have a Katarman in the latest halfling style, which is, once again, not my specialty. You guys will have to look that up on your own time. Anyways, we've got 8 people here. I tried to give them 18 people here aside from me and Kanan. I tried to give them titles so it would be a little bit easier for you to keep track of. I've already named several of them. We also have somebody from the mainland coming in. I know very little information about her. We've got a veteran who's well known, as well as their wife, who isn't really in the public eye. We do have Barrett Kanan's lawyer coming to this one, so I'm not sure what she wants to buy. I haven't been able to find out that information, but I would be very careful as another person. And the socialite is, their husband. They're very well connected. I think they're a Fey elf. I'm not 100% positive. They don't have a lot of strong traits of it, and sometimes it's hard to tell. We have somebody who had a major inheritance. They're married to a doctor of very great renown in this area, on this island even. A private collector that we don't know where they came from either. I couldn't dig up any information on them. They've been to a couple auctions in the past, but I don't know who they're buying for. And then the Starlet's wife is going to be here, the gambler. And Plu is well known for drama. Once again, not my thing. Read the sticky note, the post-it note if you want to. You want more information. He says, kind of like looking at all of this. Is why I wrote it all down, because there's no way I'm going to be able to tell all of this without like babbling forever. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of people, and you should look it over, and it's a lot of information. That being said, Dron, would you like to explain to them what they need to do?
Absolutely. So, what the plan I have currently, or what I have coordinated a little bit, but the plan as I see it currently, I was able to acquire a pair of tickets. They are for a conjoined room, so you'll have to get in together. Unfortunately, the rest of you will have to figure out your own way onto the boat. Specifically, I believe they are looking to hire most positions. It was musicians, dealers for the halls, cooks, maids, pretty much general maintenance staff, it seems like. And I need you to get onto this boat. I need you to investigate and figure out, because clearly the only people who would have known about these microgriffins are the people on this boat. And I need you to figure out which of them contacted that symbol, as he points to his board dramatically, contacted that symbol and arranged for their capture. Now, obviously, I don't expect you to engage them. This is a rather proprietous boat that would probably get you kicked off and thrown into a river. No, what I need you to do is identify them. Now, this is obviously a luxury cruise. It goes actually quite a bit slower than your average boat just to enjoy the leisure time. And as such, this will give me enough time to make contact with the correct authorities and meet you at their dock down by the capital of this island, not the guild capital, just to clarify. Down at the capital, at which point you will indicate to me the person, and I will take them in for questioning. And then hopefully we will finally have a lead on who this is or what group of people. Again, I have no idea, but so close. We are so close.
So our mission is just to find the mole.
Well, I don't know if
Do
it's
you say
necessarily
that in character?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily call them a mole. I mean, they hired killers, clearly. Saboteurs, I feel, would be a better description, honestly. Although technically they did acquire information from within, so maybe. Anyway, call them what you will. You must locate the perpetrator. And I have some tools here to aid you. Specifically, the guild has an item we we loan out basically for this sort of endeavor. It's basically an enchanted piece of cloth you can stick in your ear to allow for easy communication between like private communication between all of you at once. Read magical medieval like D&D equivalent of comm systems, like with the little earbud things. Just to be clear.
We're doing like a heist mission basically, and we have our little earpieces.
Yes.
Nice.
Anyway, because obviously this is a fairly large boat, and I expect you all to spread out and figure out who has done this, because they are on that boat, and I need to talk to them.
A lot of expectations before even asking us if we're willing to do it.
Well, that's the kind of job. Well, like do you actually say that in character?
Say that in character.
Okay. It's like, well, I kind of needed to explain the job to you, honestly. Like, I mean, that's really the more appropriate. I need you to do this job. You are the boat is leaving today, barring some sort of incredible chaos. It is leaving today, and the boarding begins at 3. I need you. You're the only ones I can hire for this. I assumed you weren't actively attacking John.
Firing on this man.
Ray's like, "Fuck you guys! I'm joining the evil people." Pew pew.
I'm fucking hell.
It's like when I came in and I was fucking arc blading.
See, and the ironic thing is, I was trying to hit my push to talk so I could specifically say, it's chaos. You say you want us to cause chaos to stop the boat, and I accidentally took out my short bow and tried to murder someone. So.
No,
says Ezekiel. No,
under no
chaos.
circumstances. Do not. If the boat is docked for too long, the people might leave. Barrett would be extremely remiss to do it, but if he has to cancel the auction, it can be done. And then our only lead is gone in the wind.
Ray raises hand out of character, me raising my hand. If I investigate, can I see if any of these names twig me as being related to
you? Yes.
Me. God fucking damn it! Every time I come in this office, I can't investigate for shit! Damn it.
Anyway, Carissa, please feel free to... just real quick, Carissa, please feel free to provide any information that would or would not result from that roll.
13.
Anyway, Day, what were you saying? Or was that Stealth? Somebody talked.
That was me.
Okay, sorry. All right. So, Shava, what were you saying then?
how much do these items typically sell for?
Well, that's gonna vary a little bit. It should be noted that Barrett is always very cautious with these endeavors, and that the actual that he has pretty much immaculate replicas made up for the auction itself. He's very cautious about theft. So the actual object at the auction, probably not for much. What it represents, well, that's why he has an auction. Any number of things. I believe, just going back looking at these records, he was expecting the micro griffins to sell for just the starting bid probably at like 300 a pop, if I recall. This is me trying out of character, trying to remember what I wrote down the griffins as, but I think it was 300 a pop. It was going to probably have the starting bid at 300 gold, and I can definitely see them. Luxury pets, oh geez, that's a market I'm not super familiar with, but I'm pretty sure it can get up there.
The contract, Ezekiel says, with the lumber baroness alone would probably cost thousands of gold, if not more. It is a contract to mine to turn a very specific wood into lumber and monopolize it. Like, these are not low ticket items. These are very rich people.
If we agree to help you, I have a question. Would you be willing to give us 500 gold to bid on things?
I mean,
not to gamble with.
Not to gamble with, to bid.
That would have to be for whichever two of you go in. Well, actually, you weren't. See, the problem is the boat isn't just hosting this event. The boat is having other individuals on it as well outside of these people. If Barrett hasn't invited you, I don't know if you can necessarily get into the auction. Yeah, as Ezekiel is shaking his head in agreement.
So Ezekiel kind of like explains. He's like, okay, so the two, I thought we had 3.
No, it was 2. It was 2.
Okay.
I literally looked at your notes. If you change it to 3, just tell me, but you had down 2.
I trust you more than me.
Okay.
So the two of you, I managed to acquire 2 tickets. The 2 of you that have the tickets and get in that way will be able to bid. And honestly, we probably should give you some money to bid. If you're asking if we'll give you 500 gold and you get to keep what you bid on, the answer is no. However, we are willing to pay you more than what this mission would normally cost the guild, just because it is last minute.
I is immediately like, how dare you, sir? As if we would ever, looking over at Kogi like, fine.
So you will have money, but you will be expected to either turn over whatever you end up buying with it, or give the money back. You're welcome to try to bid on anything that's there with your own money, but I will be very surprised if any of it is within
our price range.
Your price range. These are people who own estates, plural. That being said, the way that the boat works and these auctions work is there is going to be, he's like, all right, it's not finished. He says, sounding frustrated. I was going to have you guys go find out jobs while I finished it. I only had an hour, okay? But this is the boat schematics, he says, laying down another piece of paper. The top floor, he says, pointing to the top section, is like a dining hall and open gambling on the top floor of the boat. This middle section is all bedrooms. It's just different places that people sleep. A couple of them are owned by the boatmaster, but as you can see, especially when you consider that some of these people are bunking up, there is more than enough space for double, if not triple, the amount of people who are going to be at the auction itself. And those people will still be on the boat having dinner with us and gambling afterwards into the night, while the bottom floor down here, he says, gesturing, this floor down here, when we first get on, is going to be completely gambling. And what they do at the end of the night is as the auctions start, is this middle section right here actually turns into, it's just a series of whole bunch of open doors. They close and lock those doors, and then the auction is held on this side, and they clear out all the gambling tables, and this side remains open with different events and stuff. This part of the boat is halfway underwater. There's no windows. There's no way to get in and out very quickly. It's once you're in the auction, you're in the auction. So the 2 people of you who end up coming through with the tickets will be able to stay in here and participate. The rest of you will have to find reasons to be in there if you want to be in there once the auction starts. There are ways. Food will still be served. Drinks will still have to be passed. I doubt Barrett. I know Barrett is not going to hire anybody last minute to help handle his goods, even if they're placeholders. He's rather persnickety about his people. Getting caught snooping is not going to get you killed. These are people that are used to being followed and watched. Pissing someone off is a good way to disappear in 3 weeks. So while this is not dangerous, and the fact of you going in and trying to get information is going to get you killed, all of these people like being out in the sunlight and being quote unquote legal. They are not the kind of people that you want to backstab. Just as an understanding of the risk here. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay. So if you guys accept the job, I will, in the time that you're going out and looking for the 3 other positions you need, it like a cold or something. Some people got a little sick, and the like. Normally, it's fully staffed by now. I'm not super privy to this information. I was a little too busy writing 30 fucking cards on people. Anyways,
Your
when
efforts are
y'all come
duly noted
back-
and very much appreciated, Ezekiel.
Thank you, says Ezekiel, as if he hadn't heard that yet, but Tran probably has told him at least 6 times.
Out of game. Very cool. Very appreciated.
Glad.
Benny doesn't give a shit, but I think it's cool.
Benny doesn't give a shit. I don't expect any of the player or the player characters, and honestly not even the players, to give a shit. This is just for my satisfaction.
I think it's rad.
It looks gorgeous.
So once instead of continuing to babble out of character, this is the way it's going to work, because we're getting a little bit late and I want to let you guys go. Out of character, next session you guys are going to go look for positions you can get onto the boat that fits your character's players, or your characters, right? So if you guys have any kind of skills that you think would make good jobs on the boat, you might not want to take one of the 2 tickets. You might want to go try to get a job doing that, because only 2 people are getting on your carte blanche.
I'm gonna have to be.
So that would be a good example.
Motherfucker.
So once you guys come back with the positions that you've got, Ezekiel will help you know where people are expected to be, and you guys can pick who you're going to go look after and spy on. That's assuming you guys accept this quest. You don't have to accept this quest. You can just be like, how about you shove it? I don't want to piss off all of these people if I possibly get caught. However, they are going to be offering you, Lindsay and I haven't figured out the exact amount, we'll figure it out later, more money than you would normally get for this kind of quest if you were to pick it up in like a higher section inside the actual guild itself. And this is a very prestigious group of people. That's hella connections. So for those of you who maybe are a little bit more nefarious, if you find dirt on some of these people, that's worth money.
It can also be worth knowing the people to get help later on in our series.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You could totally make connections here.
I'm accepting the quest.
Yeah, I was going to accept the quest even if he wouldn't give us the money.
I have no choice.
Agreed.
I have no choice but to accept.
Yeah, Benny has to go.
Benny literally has to go.
Koki, how are you feeling about the quest?
I'm fine. I should not talk to anybody.
I feel like Ray, Benny, and Koki are gonna have to get the jobs, and then Shava and Faraday are gonna be the ones to take the tickets.
What are you insinuating?
I'm putting
I am
myself down
more
as
than
much.
willing to be a workhorse. You just tell me what to do, and I will put my head down and do it.
Koki,
No matter
at
like,
least.
meta, no matter what job you do, whether or not you take those 2 main tickets, which I do as like a DM suggest you consider, your high charisma characters for if you can figure it out. No matter what position you do, you will be gathering information. So don't worry about like if you decide to go be a cook that you're not going to interact with the plot at R. You will. Don't worry.
Oh, even if I'm hired as a cook, I'm gonna go do things. So fuck it.
You've got plot no matter what. But like if somebody is like, oh god, I can't really think anything except for being a card dealer. I don't know how the card dealer is going to figure. You'll get
Ooh.
information. Don't worry. Don't worry about you not having a role in this.
Yes,
What
we
is
we
it?
want
Sick.
we want you to play the game. We will
This is
facilitate you
fucking
playing the game.
Sick. It's cool.
On that
What
note,
is it boost charisma? Sorry.
I don't know. I'm assuming Faraday is definitely one of them.
Yeah, I think Faraday is 1. I have not charisma. I have -1. I have an 8.
Let's see.
What's Ray's charisma?
11.
Oh, Ray could do it.
Mine's 11 as
Oh.
well.
Oh,
Shava's
Ray could do
one.
it.
So it looks like Ray and Shava.
I don't think I will.
Ray and Shava are the 2 highest, tied for second.
yeah.
I think I will.
So you guys will
What
have
have
to
I ever
figure
done
out.
to you specifically? You to have these assumptions of me from the
Well-
moment we met.
I feel like this was above table unless he's straight up like having this convo like right now because I thought we were a little bit above table right now.
A little bit.
Yes.
If Betty's outright was like, yeah, me, Ray, and Koki, Ray would be like, excuse me?
The other thing to consider when you're choosing is who could realistically do a job. Benny has a history of being able to cook.
Exactly. So that's where I'm at.
So like even if like Koki and Benny have, well, Benny doesn't count because Benny has a job. But even if Koki has a lower charisma score, if they can't find a job, they have to have one of those tickets.
Yeah, as an example,
So-
like even though Farida has the highest charisma, I think out of all of you, what you calls it, she
Notably,
is she's a musician and they need musicians, so it would probably be pretty easy for her to get on there. So she might not be the one with the ticket. The point
So,
is, we need you
over-
guys to collaborate in the off time. And presumably, are we going to make the big, like, people docket available for them to, like, read over? Or is that coming, would that be?
Yes.
Okay.
I can post this. I'll post this in the chat as well. Actually, I'll post a link to it. I'll put it in the Google Drive. That way it doesn't deteriorate in quality. And I will also leave it as the active scene in Foundry. So if you guys if you do want to get on and look at some of these characters and the information, you can. Otherwise, between now and the next main session, I need you guys to brainstorm, preferably together in the general chat, of jobs you think your character could do. That way, when we start the next session, you guys will have like an idea of what you can already bring to the table, so we can skip that step when we only have like 2 to 3 hours to play.
Here's the other question: who's willing to be a hunchback and wear our microgriffin on their back?
Yes, we have to take the boy with us.
I mean, hey, now,
are
you-
So keep in mind, that is an item that was supposed to be
Oh
sold
fuck!
there.
Right. Oh my god, we
He
have to leave
wasn't.
him with a
He was one of the
babysitter.
ones that wasn't going to be sold.
He's still a microgriffin. You don't
It's
know if
still
Barrett
point-
even knew what they were like. Nobody there, aside from Barrett, realistically knew what those microgriffins were going to look like.
It's
You're
still-
going to show up to an event where somebody possibly killed people for microgriffins with a microgriffin.
Oh no!
It is
And
kind of
to
a-
be
kind of
fair,
a
you
power
did
move.
just acquire a deep, opaque bag within which you could carry this boy, and he sleeps during the day. Hypothetically,
That's
if
why I
you,
said someone has to be a hunchback.
well, I mean, also
So you
you'll
could.
whoever the room has a private room, so unless somebody else on there decides to sneak into your room and like root through your bags, you could hide him in there. I'm just throwing ideas out.
That's a good idea.
But if
We just
nothing
have
else,
to
could handle
make sure
him.
if
We
we
should
have
leave
to
him
make a quick
withdrawn.
escape.
Leave him withdrawn.
Yeah.
but if nothing else, you guys
Drawn
wanted a
babysit.
pet. there are potential consequences to having pets.
Yep.
Now you have to board your dog before you can go on vacation. All right.
We have to
So.
get him vaccinated.
What vaccines? The bird ones or the mammal ones?
Yes.
All of them.
Just pump them through. Like, some of these have to stick. Would viruses of the non-magical variety even work with a new breed of animal? Who knows? We'll find out next time.
It's just greater restoration and vaccine, basically.
All right. And with that, that is where I'm going to call it for the evening. That way people can actually get to bed on time for once with these sessions. I feel like this is a good stopping point. If you have any questions about the information that is presented, any questions on what you think might be related to your character, feel free to chat us on the side. Otherwise, please, within the next couple weeks, post in the general chat what you think your character would be able to do job-wise. The way we at least have that before we go on. If you guys want to talk about it more, I would love that. But at least post what you think your character would be able to do.
Would everyone be willing to like have another general chat, like actual like meeting group, maybe next Wednesday, and we could talk it out?
I mean, I could do that.
I could. Why don't we post it? I'll post like the general chat message, and we'll see if people are willing to get together next Wednesday. All right, and with that, I think we can stop streaming. How do you feel, Lindsay?
I think that is apt. So to those of us who for anyone who joined us this evening, thank you for doing so. We always appreciate the company. And with that, I bid you adieu on this, our most recent chapter of the Dead Sea God.